Hey everybody, this is Rapping Sports with Jack from the J to the A to the X and X.com. Go over to the website, check it out. Anyway, we're going to talk about the Chicago Cubs and the Fantastic Five, and we're getting close to that trading deadline, and the moment of truth is just coming upon us quick right here. And then the only one we really heard about is Baez. He's looking for 200,000 long-term contract, and you say that's a ridiculous contract. You think that way, but the owners did it to themselves again with Tatis Jr. signing that big contract, and there's other big contracts. Harper. I don't have to go through everybody, and I'm not saying Baez deserves that type of money, but why not at least ask for it? Why not? I mean, he can do that on the open market now, just to see what happens. It's ridiculous, and the owners done it to themselves. They keep doing it. They keep upping all the pay, and when is it going to end? 500,000 million billion. When's it going to end? I mean, it makes no sense. So I don't blame him for asking that, and that's the problem with the Cubs now, because the Cubs have the Fantastic Five. They're all going to be looking for money. I think the only one that has an option is Contreras, so he has an option, I believe, so he can probably keep his option and stay if he wants to. But if all these Cubs leave, does he want to? So we have to figure that part out. And Rizzo, a lot of people keep saying, well, he's the face of the franchise. Well, they didn't sign him yet, so haven't proven it to me, and not saying they won't. They might. So something's got to give. And I'm nervous. And then they keep it seems like Bryant always seems to be the odd man out from the beginning. And he's probably the best player of all of them. So it makes no sense. And I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens. My gut feeling is they'll probably keep Baez. I think they'll keep Rizzo. I think Contreras will stay. Kimbrel's a curious one because I would really like to keep him. He had such a good year, and every team's going to need a closer. I mean, there's no team that's going to get away with not having a closer. So if he's not closing, then who's going to close? And that's what I worry about. He's having a great year. I mean, he's picking a great time to actually have to do that. So we'll have to see how that goes too. But I have a feeling it's Bryant that they're going to lose, and maybe it's because they can get the most for him, maybe. And the teams that you're hearing that want him are the Red Sox. The Mets really want him, is what it seems like. But what are the Mets going to give up for him? But the Mets also got to realize they can actually sign him and maybe let Baez go if that's what they're going to do, or Baez go. So it's going to be really interesting to see what the Cubs do. But they're probably not even going to make their decision about their contracts until they find out what can they get for him, what can they get for him. So it's really going to go down to the wire what goes on. But it would be nice to hear one of these. I'm saying if you keep Baez and then you have Horner on second, which I think is going to end up happening as he gets more experience, because it looks like he's going to be a good ball player. That's a nice second and short combination for a long time. Contreras, you can keep him because I even if he stays, I don't think he's going to be that high end of a player. I mean, you never know. Like I said, you might as well ask as a player because some of the owners keep giving up big bucks. So that would still be a nice up the middle for the Cubs, and you can build around that. I mean, it turns out with the Cubs too, with free agents, kind of nervous because they messed up with Hayward. Hayward's kind of the person that's thrown everything off. It's like he makes too much money for what he does. He's not an awful player. He does a lot of good things, but is he $100 million player? No. And he's the one that kind of thrown it off. So if there was some way you can, if you got rid of, like, say, Bryant, say you traded him, they have to take Hayward too. So that would help the Cubs, something like that. But it's going to be really interesting to see. My gut feeling is they're going to keep Rizzo Baez, and they're going to have Contreras on the team. I think we're going to lose Kimbrel because they're probably going to have to look for a younger closer, a younger person to close, and they're going to lose Bryant, and I'm not happy about that because I actually think he's the best. But $200 million is Baez really worth that in your mind? Maybe. He runs about the same numbers as Bogarts, and I'm not sure what Bogarts makes, but he might be asking for that when his time comes up. So if you go by Tatis making 300, then it's not an impossible number. But we'll see what the Cubs want to play. I mean, I hope they pay some of these guys so we can keep them all. We don't want to lose all of them. At least with Wisdom playing third, there might be somebody over there playing third, so that could be what they're hoping too. But anyway, it's getting down to the point where we're going to find out finally what's going on. And I hope that they make trades and they just don't let it linger. And because that just does not work out. If you let players say, well, wait till next year, we'll talk about it, we won't make a trade, that never works out for a team, very rarely. But anyway, I'm going to end the show. This is Rapping Sports with Jax from the J Today to the X.com. Go over to the website. Hey, when you get a chance, please just throw a like. Help me out. Always subscribe. And if you leave some comments, I'll be nice. I'll know what to talk about, and I'll talk about it a little more. And I'll talk to you sooner or later.